Greetings, Oye Oye. This is eBird here for Oye2.com. I'm here today with my brother Wayne. He's an organization development professional. The reason I brought him to here today is that I wanted to try to draw some lines of relevance between an organization's success and an individual's success. And I would like him to first explain the nature of his work.
Okay. When I'm working with organizations, and I'm working within a system, an organization is part of a system, there are 3 levels to the system. There's the individual, which is the basic level. There's the team or the group, and then there's the organization itself within the system. And very much like an organic system, inside of an organization, people tend to work synergistically or have clashes. So there's oftentimes conflict and chaos, much like what happens in, say, a piece of wood, where the cells are in, the molecules are in dynamic tension with each other. So the work that I do is to help create an environment where people are working together, communicating with each other, expressing their expectations, understanding what it is that they're bringing to the game in terms of synergism or conflict, and that they can address those things as they arise in the moment and have a conversation about it.
Okay. So essentially what you're sharing with us is that there are different pieces to this puzzle, and it starts with the individual,
right,
which is our point of reference for the pursuit of health, wealth, and happiness.
Exactly.
Because a person that is in pursuit and comfortable with themselves, they're going to bring more of a synergy.
Right.
Exactly. So have you studied the gentleman John Shearer? And the reason I bring up John Shearer is because he has spoken quite a bit about the be, do, have paradigm, if you will, for an individual,
right,
or for a group. And that, can you explain a little bit about John Shearer for our viewers?
Well, John Shearer in my life, in my development, has helped me understand what it is that I bring to a situation so that I can bring my total self to whatever intervention I'm involved in. And he has shared a variety of tools with me to help me understand what it is that I need to do in order to be a part of that intervention. Because whenever I show up, my development is taking place at the same time as either the group or the individual or the organization that I'm working with. So John has shared a concept with me about the paradigm that we've been conditioned to believe is that in order for us to be who we can be, we have to do what it is that allows us to have what we have so that we can be who we are. That's our Western world paradigm.
Right.
But in actuality, if you bring your whole self to be who you are intended to be, then you can do what it is that you want to do, which brings you, as John calls it, tov. It's what makes your heart sing, is what he says. Then you can have all the things that you could ever wish to have in your life. So it's be, do, have instead of do, have, be.
Right. So in the West, we're trying to put the do first.
Right.
Because that's our training, our upbringing.
Right.
But the proper approach is to be first.
Begin the self-discovery process, they become really interested in the process itself because they haven't taken the time to understand more about who they are. And some people are actually afraid to understand who they are and where they've come from because something's happened in their lives that hasn't endeared them to that process. They're afraid to uncover whatever it is that's created to cover for them. But once they do begin the process, and they start to regularly engage in it, it's almost cathartic for them. It's freeing for them to understand more about where the cloak came from. Why is it that they want to hide behind the curtain? And it becomes energizing. So that's how you do the shift, the paradigm shift, so that you can be who it is that you fully can embrace, so that then you can do what it is that you really enjoy, and you can have all the things that you want to have in life. Because the end result is having all those things. It's not who has the most toys wins. It's how do I create the greatest opportunity for happiness in my life? And it's not having a whole bunch of stuff. It's just having happiness. It's having peace.
That's wonderful. So and it's very helpful. So if you could, for the viewers, explain in your profession, and I'm certain that you're interacting with individuals, what do you suggest to them, or how do you approach them so that they can make the paradigm shift a little easier?
Shifting from doing the things that they think is going to give them the things that they want to have so they can be who they want to be. Shifting to being who they are takes some self-exploration. So it's understanding more about where they get their energy from. So I use a variety of assessments so that they can understand where their strengths and interests are, so that they can pursue those interests, as opposed to spending a lot of energy doing things that aren't natural to them, not natural to their personality or to what drives them. It's like an analogy that I use quite often is a carpenter is a carpenter because he or she enjoys doing carpentry. That doesn't mean they can't do plumbing. They can do plumbing. They don't get the same energy out of doing plumbing that they get out of doing carpentry. So if they spend more time doing plumbing than they do doing carpentry, they're expending more energy. Right. That's a simple way for me to explain.
Working harder,
yeah,
at getting something done that they don't enjoy.
Exactly.
That's excellent. That's excellent. So in the pursuit of health, wealth, and happiness, we've discussed the Liberation Dance in our podcast, and we've also discussed the sunrise of the heart and intuition. This speaks directly to the sunrise of the heart, which is the awakening. And the awakening is where a person finds peace within themselves and a passion that they can embrace and give themselves an uplift in their energy as well as their satisfaction with living. This has been an excellent interchange, and I really appreciate your help today. Good luck in your continued work. And this is eBird signing off. Thank you.